people need to understand what insurance is all about and why it's needed. And it's why I formed this organization was because there was no insurance earlier which covers outdoor sports, trekking, mountaineering, ultra running, and there was no search and evacuation company in India. If you are in the mountains, if you are actually there is no safety measures. And it all started 10 years back when I was doing a trek, and I was the only Indian in the trek. And everyone was insured, they was getting rescued. Even though I wanted to pay, there was nothing. And later on I realized life is not cheap. We guys have some sort of, if we want to change something, we need to do it ourselves. And that's how the journey began, I think, 7 years back. And 3.5 years back, insurance companies also started taking in trust. And I think last year we finally got the IRDAI approval. Why it's needed? Okay, insurance as a concept is very basic to mitigate everyone's risk or everyone's
simple language.
Simple. Okay. So let's say everyone is a runner here, and if they're running, there's a risk of getting a stress fracture or anything. We will mitigate the same risk among everyone, so that everyone pays a little bit of it, and let's say 10 people out of 1,000 will get the advantage of it in a very layman term. Now, in terms of, there have been a lot of discussions right now that every weekend there are numerous events happening, but there's no safety. I've never heard, apart from 2 ambulances, couple of paramedics, and in a big races. So there is water, there is other things, but there is no safety structure, because people do get injured. An accident happens when they happen. You cannot control them. Yes, you can prevent them, or you can prevent them to go from a normal accident to a missing out on that golden opportunity where you can actually save a lot of life and a lot of time. So the point was, we have started insuring events. Now, a lot of people say, what is the difference between my health insurance and your insurance? It's very particular. We target only that 3-hour period, or a 6-hour period, or a 6-day period, or a 1-month period, right? Where in case of anything which goes wrong there, at least you will be evacuated to a very good hospital nearby. And it's a general human psychology. If imagine everyone in a race is secured, then anyone will take you to a hospital nearby. It's a very human tendency where no one is liable for the, let's say, financial aspect of it. And if someone is injured, and I do, as an organizer, I can't say, sir, insurance de dijiye, I have to take you to the hospital. The first aid, the basic thing, hospitalization should be covered, because and maybe there are a lot of people who are not insured, who will, as a moral responsibility, as an organizer, I should be prepared for all kind of actions. There was Boston, what happened in Boston. Who is responsible for that? Government won't cover your cost all the time. You are responsible, as Doc said. You need to be responsible first for yourself, then what you expect from the organizer or anyone. So it is very important. Let's say for La Ultra the High, we secured it last time. There were a lot of discussions from the mountaineers and trekkers, because we launched accidental policies last year. So now we launched EMS Plus, which includes all kind of sickness being acute mountain sickness, HAPE, which is cerebral edema or pulmonary edema. Now these are very important things, and a lot of mountaineers and high altitude trekkers or trail runners need medical evacuation because of these things. And we have now launched it. We are securing a lot of people. So the point is, if you are organizing something, do it properly, because our lives are important and there has to be a safety structure. Plus, money is super important. Doc really saved me last year from a spine surgery, where a doctor actually told me, you should go for this surgery. And Doc told me, just take these pills, 2 weeks rest, and then start strengthening. And I'm actually sitting here. And that doc told me to go for a surgery.
The other doc.
The other doc. So, and it's quite frightening, and that must have, I was calculating 5-7 lakh rupees. And it's not easy for anyone. If a new guy is coming into running, injuries are about to happen. Why can't you offset that cost for small amount And
I'll just add to that. So basically, it's very clear in science that when you exercise, a person who exercises is healthier than a person who doesn't exercise. But the point is, when you're exercising, your chances of injuries are higher than someone who's sitting on a couch, eating some potato or chips or something and watching Sars serial. Right? He'll survive that without an injury, most probably, if he doesn't have a heart attack. But the point is, when you run, there's a chance that knee could hurt, you could have an ankle twist. Your chances are higher because you're doing something. So what I'm saying, the point really of asking Prateek for this was, when 30,000 people take part at ADHM, SCMM, the chances of injuries, because of the volumes, are just simply higher. Okay? And somehow, it's just not in our DNA as Indians to talk about insurance or safety.
It's very, last 1 year, and people have asked me, why need? I have a lot of money. I said, good for you, but again, the point being, I'm offsetting your cost for less than 1% of the whole thing. And that's the whole point. And what happens is when you are in that sort of a mode, it could happen to this year. We lost a guy on Everest, right? He was a friend. He did 2 expeditions with me and we insured him. We in fact rescued 7 people from there. So it is, when you go to that stage.
So what happened? That's important. So, okay, he had insurance.
Yes, from
us. Passed away, exactly.
Right.
Now, so what's the benefit?
What's the benefit? At least he's not from that sound background and he was climbing, it was his dream, and at least his parents are getting back that money from his insurance, because as a person we are running ultras and we are running this and we are what happens to our family when we are gone. So that is the whole point, because financially also you need to secure your family. It's not about me, it's about my people have children, you have to secure their education. We did that. So people who went with children's education benefit, they secured the loans. I have a loan on my house, let's say. I secured that. That's only about that. But again, medical evacuations, it's super important. My life is important. Everyone's life is important. I cannot differentiate between a guy who cannot pay and me. So मेरे को ले जाओ sir, मेरे ये पैसे मेरे घर से check ले जाना. It's not about that. It's about at least I have to get the field at a similar level, and that is the whole point. Please get a safety manual structure in place for every marathon, because there will be injuries. And then, of course, one thing I need to add, like mountaineering, we had this new insurance. We are developing new products, like in case why I should go and pay for my ACL tear when I can actually go for a physiotherapy or a rehab session, and insurance can pay for it, and then save 90% of the cost on rehab rather than paying 4 lakh rupees on what me and Doc were discussing the other day. And we can actually save everyone's money and time because of that.
Prateek, can I ask, when you say launching new products, are you doing it for regular running or anything else, or do you do it for an event? Because a whole lot of us actually train regularly and injury can happen, not just in an event but any time, right?
That's actually a very good question. We have launched last year the accidental plans for the 1 year. So all your general injuries are also included, not only during
through the year if I'm training, if I get injured.
And in fact, if you want to go to Everest, you want to do train, cycle, we cover 200 plus sports. You name an activity, apart from one, we cover everything.
Awesome. I'm going bungee jumping too.
What's one? One is marriage, sorry. Don't cover that. We cover bungee, we cover everything. Right?
Prateek, do you also have helicopter evacuations and all? Because recently we had gone to Nepal for a trek, and we were insured with a Nepalese, with an international company which works in Nepal. And 2 of my friends had to be evacuated, and it was so handy. Within half an hour, the choppers came and picked them up from Gokyo Lakes.
Absolutely, they are very, very important. And I think we rescued 7 people this year from Everest expedition as well as Everest base camp expedition. So in fact, we launched AMS Plus now for India also. Earlier, those insurances are international insurances for Indians. But as in Indians, if you are going for an expedition, let's say in Ladakh, in trail running in Manali, you can actually get helicopter evacuations now. And at least we have started the ball rolling with covering you for the financial bit of it. Because a chopper evacuation costs you somewhere around 1 lakh of rupees per hour. So if a chopper is going to pick you up from a place, 1 hour, so 1 lakh going there, 1 lakh coming back. And maybe you need more of the time. And traditional policies never covers you. No one knows this. If doctor writes in his prescription saying that, okay, this person was suffering from APS, or maybe he was trekking or camping or something like that, you're out of it. Even if you have 5 crores of policy, no one will cover you. No one knows this, but it's actually the case. If you are there in a competition, ADHM or wherever, you are bound to push not 10, 20, 30 times what you do in a regular day, which insurance companies in India never covers. In fact, I know a case where a person just went to his hometown in Maharashtra and he was bitten by a snake. Now there are a lot of snakes there. So what happens, he was there and he died and he passed away. He has an insurance of I think health insurance or life insurance. Insurance company never paid him because he said, if you know that's gonna happen, why the hell you went there? So there could be million reasons to reject a claim, and that is one of them. So we said, look, and they say it's an intrinsic risk of a expedition mountaineer or a trekker or a runner to actually do that. So at the time of injury, you will actually know this happens. So we have started this.
Prateek, but death is inevitable. So when you know you're going to die, I mean, why insure anyone?
It's a very good question. Sorry.
Again, as you said, for the children and for the families who are left
It's very
behind.
important because it's okay. There are three things in this. One is, okay, if we say why we call it 360 degrees, we protect you from every aspect of an injury, let's say, or an incident which can happen in outdoors. Now, first is first responders. In a normal area, you see, ambulances and other things on mountains, and you have air chopper evacuations, you have road ambulances, you have your own Sherpas, bringing you down to the road and, putting you in a taxi and going to the nearest hospitals. There are different ways of evacuating people, but, that's the first responder. But taking you to a hospital, all kinds of treatment are important. Right now, we actually added pre and post surgery expenditure also. Post means, we are actually paying people for rehabs now. We have started doing that post surgery for physiotherapies, for lot of things. And then all kind of treatments are there. Smallest of fractures are included now, which can cost today 20,000, 15,000 rupees. And it's a lot of money for a lot of people. So treatment are done. Then the next aspect is financial benefits. Now financial means, if I'm going out there, everyone has EMIs these days. And as a corporate job or any job, I am getting certain amount every month. As a family, it's a huge financial burden if I'm there on the bed for next 2 months or 1 month. So what happens is, if in case, let's say I got bedridden for next 1.5 months, who will take care of my family? And we started doing loss of income due to disability, because corporate jobs will also say, sir, baad mein aana, once you are back to your feet. And then EMIs. I have EMI on my car, I have EMI on phone, I have, they never stop. You might stop, they never stop. So who take care of that? And then we started something called loan protector cover.
Okay.
So which means if I have a loan on my house of 20 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 1 crore, I can actually insure that. So that it will not fall on my family if I'm not coming back, which is huge, because why I am going through that pain of running and doing and all that, family have to bear the burden of everything, and this is huge. And then of course death and disability. So I am getting insured for 0.1% of
the actual cost.